Hello everyone and welcome to the Contention server. So I've heard a lot of good things about this server from a number of people, really pitched as a more modern version of Enigma's Cold War server, or possibly a replacement for Tempest Blue Flash server. It's got a dynamic campaign that I was really interested in jumping on. It's got credit systems, all sorts of things in there, but a more modern setting. Just like Tempest Blue Flash, it is no Fox 3s, so all Fox 1s and Fox 2s, but otherwise we've got a wide range of aircraft and weapons that we can use, and so I jumped in with Gerard. I was flying the F-16 here, and so let's see how my first little jump into this new server went. And so, because I wasn't talking too much, was flying Jared, but we weren't really talking too much, I'm just going to give a voiceover and a docs debrief style thing here. So initially I decided, right, I'm going to take the F-16, and since I've been doing a SEAD campaign, I decided to have a go at doing SEAD here. So I do get a pop-up for a Hawk site, fire a Magnum off at it. Unfortunately, I don't believe I get the kill there. I'm not entirely sure what happens. I think it might hit a building or the target was already destroyed before it got in. Either way here, still flying around, trying to work out where enemy targets are. And here I get called in to intercept one of the AI planes in this campaign, this transport plane. So following it along, do get a Fox 2 tone there, lose it, so reacquire and fire again, but while I'm doing that, someone else manages to hit this thing. It's already going down, mine is just a second hit there. But at least I did something. I helped. And I do like the AI planes in this, just like I like the re-edition of the AI planes into Enigmas. I think it really does add quite a lot to the campaign. Now, what my general thinking is here is that I'm going to try to push towards Rene airfield and take out the air defences there. The way you progress in this campaign is by taking out the air defences around airfields, then landing troops on them. So a much more direct way than Enigma's Cold War server. But while I'm on the way to Rene, I end up turning in here because there is a Harrier somewhere below me. I see a plane exploding and wonder for a moment, is that the Harrier? Can maybe see in the chat log it's not. It was the 23 that the Harrier, sorry, 33 that the Harrier knocked out. The Harrier then turns around and knocks me out, so yeah, I'm not doing ideally so far, but getting some experience in there. This one I'm just off the airfield, and ahead are a pair of Harriers. And so once again, heading towards them, they are bothering Gerard, who's in a hind in that area. So I'm doing my best to get there in time to intercept these guys, have locked them up. Incidentally, you may see that I'm not really using the ACM mode here while doing the fighting in the F-16. That's because during the session I completely forgot how to do ACM for the most part. The campaign I've been doing is very much air to ground, and so although I'm getting a little bit confident with that, I am really not good at air to air in the F-16. Probably shouldn't have picked a plane I'm not too familiar with and a server I'm not too familiar with, but I wanted to try the F-16 in multiplayer. By the way, I've got this Harrier locked up. He obviously knows I have him locked up, so he is diving here to try and break the lock. He then turns around. I'm quite happy that I still see him. I don't have tone on him here. Again, I could have tried to uncage the missile, but I do happen to get tone for a second, do fire it off. Unfortunately, he sees And the Harrier does have a bunch of flares. Being a ground attack plane, it does have a lot of flares here. And that is a huge amount even for a modern missile. He jettisons his ordnance, I fire at him, he fires at me, I forget to flare, and he gets the kill. I go down, my missile though takes his flare, and so that's me dead again to another Harrier. So again, up in the air, trying to give Gerard here some cap. He is trying to capture that FARP down below. You can see the two green squares. See the flaring, and that is another Harrier in the area. So, okay, this Harrier is too close to my wingman. He is a threat to the wingman. He has just splashed another plane. Harriers seem to be doing very well on the server right now. But I am in a very good position here. I can dive in directly on top of this guy. He is flaring a lot. A missile's been shot at him. He fires 2 missiles back. And I whip off my missile there. And I do get a hit. Incidentally, 2 missiles that he did fire were actually at Gerard's helicopter. And so really happy there. My first PvP kill of the session happens to be a PvP kill in which I'm defending my wingman, actually doing the job I set out to do, so feeling quite happy there. And on top of that, that was the Harrier that shot me down last time, so I got a little bit of revenge in at the same time. Even though when I was playing on this server there wasn't a massive population, it was about 20 or so people, there certainly wasn't a lack of action. So I decided to push north a little bit, trying to head a bit closer to the Rene airfield, when I start getting locked by an F-18. And while I'm trying to figure out where he's coming from, I get hit. I am very much not used to how quickly planes can close on you in these modern environments. With the Enigma's Cold War, at least you get a bit more of a warning. Here it's very quick, going from 20 miles out to being engaged. So here I am again, heading towards Rene. This time I've got Mavericks with me, and I do spot things that I'm pretty sure are the air defense sites there. They're no longer radar air defense, so I can't use my harms. Instead they've got IR air defense. And so I'm just trying to get locks, fire off a couple of Mavericks, and then turn away. Go back into air-to-air mode. This is when I encounter something else that is very different when compared to Enigma's Cold War. In Enigma's, you fire a Maverick, it's going to get a kill. That is that. The thing with a more modern setting, with more modern air defense, is, as we can see just there, more modern air defense can absolutely take on incoming missiles. And so the SAM site there just starts opening up on my Mavericks. Mavericks are small targets, but they're also slow targets. There we can see absolutely do take out both my Mavericks, so neither hits home. So that's something I'm going to need to get used to. You're going to have to employ different tactics when doing this. At this point, I'm still in the area. Rene's just below me. What I decide to do is, okay, tactic number 2, I can dive in at very high altitude, above the engagement range of the SA, or it's not an SA-15, but similar IR. I drop a couple of bombs there, turn away as missiles have been launched at me. Again, I seem not to be dumping flares there. I think I forgot to dump flares there in the moment. And unfortunately the bombs didn't actually hit home either, so never mind. So yeah, definitely not doing well on this server, but it is a completely new theatre for me. I'm really not used to modern in multiplayer. The most I've done is a few sessions on Tempest Blue Flash, also sort of more modern, not completely modern. But here there is a 3-ship of F-18s. I spot 2 of them in the contrails there up ahead. They both do a turn heading towards a different contact. And so I'm quite happy in my positioning here that they are definitely focusing on someone else. I temporarily get locked by another F-18. You can see there on the EWR picture there are a lot of Hornets in the area. So you can see these 2 diving. They've dived below the contrail, which is making them slightly harder to pick out. But I still do have just a sight on one of them. I decide to lock up the closer target, which wasn't the one I had my eyes on. Mostly so I can track them better, because I was very worried I was just going to lose sight of these guys as they drop below the horizon. I do get locked on here, but while I'm keeping my nose on this guy, I am notching the other guy, so it kind of win-win. And there I realise I didn't actually master arm, which is quite a big problem. Thankfully managed to master arm and whip off a missile, get 1 kill, turn very hard here to break the lock, dumping flares and chaff. You can see that is actually the missile trail heading towards me. I dodge it. Very, very luckily there. 2nd missile is launched on me. I fire a missile back at him. And we trade. So, quite happy with that. Heading into a 3-on-1 engagement, take down 2 of them, I'll take that as a win. But yeah, all in all, I really enjoyed the server, really want to jump back in the server and see what else it has to offer. There are a lot of really interesting options in terms of planes and ordnance loadout. So if you'd like to see more, please do let me know, and otherwise I hope to catch you in a future video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourselves and everyone else. Cheers.